Hi, this is Leah Lazarus doing a printmaking lesson using Easy Blocks and using the holiday Day of the Dead as my theme for this project. I've been doing this project for several years. This is one of my favorite holidays of the year to do with kids, and it's just a lot of fun. I do this with sixth graders. It is the first experience they have using Easy Block and using linoleum tools. This is a great way to get into printmaking with kids. It's a little on the expensive side, but I think it's totally worth it. So here are some of the blocks I've created over the years: skeleton in a garden, skeleton on stage, a skeleton as an artist, and last year I did a skeleton drumming. Talk to your students about the Day of the Dead and have them pick a skeleton doing something that they do every day in their life. So you will need an Easy Block. You will need a guard, a linoleum tool, a pencil, a black Sharpie, and some tracing paper. This year I simply just did a drawing of La Catrina, created by Jose Posada, a very famous printmaker, Mexican printmaker. And I tried to do something kind of on the simple side. Here are some finished prints of past blocks. And now we'll get started. So the first thing we're going to do is create a drawing. I usually give them a tracer so that they have the size of the block, and then they can create several sketches of skeletons doing something from their everyday life. And it could be personal. If they're a hockey player, they could do a skeleton on the ice playing hockey. If they like to read, they can be on the couch in their room or in their family room reading a book or watching TV or playing videos, whatever they want to do. Anyway, so they do a drawing. I do ask that they do it in pencil first and then in Sharpie, showing me line, contrast, and texture. I think that's really important because really sixth graders would probably just do an outline of whatever they're doing. So I really try to concentrate on line, texture, and contrast. Okay, once I have my drawing, I take a piece of tracing paper and I trace out the design in pencil, pressing hard, because I'm going to use this tracing paper to transfer it onto their block. I've already done this, so I'm ready to transfer. So I'm going to get my Easy Block, and I'm going to face down, graphite side down. I'm going to put it on my Easy Block. If you want to, you can have the kids or you can use tape, but I don't need to use tape. You can use the round side of a Sharpie, or you can use your nail bed. And I do use my nail all the time, and I transfer this onto the block. Make sure you tell the students to go over all the lines. Make sure you tell your students to not move the tracing paper. Okay, because students often move the tracing paper and then you get a double image. That's why I say you might want to tape it down. So, once you finish this, and really tell the kids to take their time and do it, the more careful they are now, the easier it'll be. If they take their tracing paper off and if there is a double image, you can tell them to take a Sharpie and go over the lines, the one line, so that they can see it. And really, if they're freaked out about the fact that it's not as crisp as they want it, have them take a Sharpie. It'll be just fine. I tell the students you only get one block because they're quite expensive. So now I'm going to take my guard, and I am going to bring the camera a little closer. Okay. And I am going to start carving. Students, anyone, should have their free hand behind their carving tool. The carving tool should go away from your hand at all times. I stress that over and over and over again. I also stress that you can move the block around, whatever is the most comfortable position for you. And also, easy blocks are easy to carve into. So you're not digging, you're gliding across, and you're taking your time so you don't slip. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to not use the easy block, the guard, so that you can see. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to start by outlining my skeleton. I'm actually going to move my block around, not move my tool so much. I'm actually going to move my block around. Adults probably don't need a guard unless they're really new to printmaking. All right. And I would outline things. You could start thinking about what's going to be white, what's going to be black. Okay, everything you carve out, I think of as white. That is going to be the color of the paper. And everything that is raised is going to be the color of your ink. And I always start my students off using black ink on white paper. And I usually ask them to do an addition of 3 prints, so they get used to trying to print them all the same. Notice I am going through this with ease. Okay. Try to keep that hand behind. Your carving hand. Trying to hurry. I'd like to get to some texture. I'm going to carve out some of the background. I'm not going to do this whole thing because it'll take too long for the video. And then my next video will be printing. So right away, I'm going to just start taking out the background. I'm going to do some textures for you. This will have, there will be a little contrast here now because the rim of the hat will stay black. And then right behind it, there will be mostly white, but maybe some carved out lines. Okay. And there's some feathers on her hat here. And I'm going to just carve that out. Remember, have them go slowly because you can always carve more out, but you can't put anything back. I'm going to do these flowers. And I'm going to show you that I just move. I'm not moving my tool too much. I'm mostly moving my block. Sometimes that's the easier way to go. This is a little bit of a challenge to 6th graders, but they get it. Sometimes I have to help them choose what to carve and what not to carve, but that's okay. It's a learning tool. And if you just noticed, I actually just went around in a circle with my block, which made a nice little circle in my block for my flower. Okay, that's about all I'm going to do right now. My next video will be printing the block.